Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Let's go. It's about to be an episode you would not want to miss. Let's go, BG. I'm ready to talk some birds.
Episode 26. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody, man? And welcome to the very first episode of The Truth, where not all Eagle fans agree on everything, and this is definitely the spot where this shit about to go down.
Oh yes, able. Oh yes, I'm stable. Oh yes, no label. Oh yes, you know me. I have only the best. I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going.
This is why we started this, because of you. We started I'm tired of listening to your, fantasy that you living in right now. Always talking about 17-0 until proven otherwise. BS.
I'll be number one, working hella hard until I get just what I want. Yeah, rises like the sun. Yeah, fatal like a gun.
You know what I mean?
Hey, I was pretty close last year. We could have easily won those 3 games.
I gotta get through it, and the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing.
Right? Did you not beat ourselves in the game?
Look, we lost.
Never listen to the no's. I just wanna keep
moving.
Yeah, I put it all aside. It's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed. Feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Welcome to episode 26 of The Truth. Like I said before, we got a very special guest in the building, Mr. Marc Farzetta. How you doing, Marc?
How you doing, guys? Let's start over again. I don't feel like that entrance had enough energy to it, so let's step it up a notch and bring it. But no, just kidding. That was fantastic, as per usual. Amazing. That's just what I need. Like, I feel like it's game day already. It's time to kick off the 2024 season. Let's all go to Brazil. Let's all party. Let's all get crazy. We have that same exact intro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about, man. You know what? Let's go, man. Hey, where the plane at? Let's go. Is it time yet for Brazil?
Somebody got to give me a ticket. I got kids, man. I got kids.
You couldn't expect anything better than Eagles versus Packers. Love hurts. Oh, love hurts. A big test for the Philadelphia Eagles. Good receivers, good running game, young gun. I can't wait for that game.
I can't wait for that game. And I was very surprised when I ripped the idea of doing an Eagles home game in Brazil. They were like, "Oh, how dare the NFL?" I was like, "How dare the NFL?" I know that they built this into the schedule, and everyone's going to take their turn. Essentially, that's fine. But on that same note, I got hit up on Twitter by a gentleman from Sampa. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Nice.
And he was like, "Hey, I'm like in this big Eagles fan base down here in Brazil. How dare you, sir?" Saying to me, "How dare you there, Mr. Farzetta, that you say that you don't want us to have this game. You rather have it in Philadelphia. Oh, man. Oh, woe is us that you guys always have your Eagles, but we're fans down here in Brazil that never get to see our team." I was unaware that there's a large Eagles fan contingent in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So news to me, man. News to me.
We're everywhere, man. Who wouldn't want to be an Eagles fan? Maybe in the States, Dallas might got it, but around the world, baby, everybody loves Philly.
Yeah. I don't know. I've certainly traveled a good amount. I'm lucky enough to have been, around a little bit, and it always amazes me whenever I see an Eagles hat, a Phillies hat, even a Flyers sweater somewhere overseas. It's always an incredible thing. I'll tell you a true story. This is a true story. I was in Siena, Italy, and I'm standing in the middle of their oldest square, Piazza di Campo, and I'm just like looking around how beautiful it is, and I just hear, "Yo, Farzy!" And I'm like, "Get out of here!" And a guy walks up, and he shows me his Eagles tattoo. I kid you not. On that very same trip, I'm in a little town called Rome, Italy, and I'm having a pizza with my wife and my brother-in-law, and we go outside, and this guy, I'm not kidding you, a sleeve, Phillies tattoo, Flyers logo, and an Eagles logo right there on his tricep. And I couldn't believe. I was like, "Am I on Passion Ave, or am I in Rome, Italy? What's going on here?" And sure enough, yeah, the guy was actually from Sweden. His name was Henrik, because of course it was. And he was just a big Philadelphia fan. He had traveled back and forth from Philadelphia for work and just became a big Philadelphia sports fan. We're everywhere, baby.
Yes.
Nice. Even here at Bama, man, they don't even have a professional football team, but it seems like everybody got Eagles gear on. Everybody got Eagles gear. You'd think it'd be more Falcons, I thought, since Atlanta's right there. But it's a lot more Eagles gear than you'd think, man. It's crazy. I'd be at work.
Crimson Tide's paid now, right? They get paid. They're professional, are they not?
Yeah, facts. Yes,
I'm sorry. They get paid on the books now. Sorry.
On the books. All right, Mark, what's up, man? Like, we ain't talked in a while, man. I want to know what's your take on the draft. You can break it down for us. How you feeling about this draft?
Hold on, before the draft, though. Wait, before the draft, I really want to know your honest opinion of Nick Sirianni being retained as the head coach, because a lot of fans, including this guy over here, he didn't want him, but I wanted him to stay, but he didn't, so we split. But what is your honest opinion? Was it a good decision, a bad decision? Like, what is your honest opinion on that one?
I was for moving on from Nick Sirianni. I did not want Nick Sirianni back because I'm a wise man such as BG. No, I did not want Nick Sirianni because it just to me seemed like, hold on a second. I understand that he'd been to the playoffs all 3 times. I understand that he had just come off a Super Bowl appearance, but the collapse at the end of this year was also historic. And he was taking all this heat and all this blame for making the change at defensive coordinator. I still don't think that was all on him, but I don't think you can once a boss or anyone that is supposed to be in a position of authority, once they are undermined, there's no going back. It's like if I don't know. There's been a bunch of examples like this in pop culture, but when it comes to an Eagles locker room, once I heard Hassan Reddick say making that change to the defensive coordinator was the higher ups decision. To me, that doesn't mean Nick Sirianni. To me, that means Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie. That means the front office. So I think Nick Sirianni went into that locker room and said, look, we're status quo. Everything's going to be fine. We got this. We're 10-3. We're going to roll. And then all of a sudden you make a change at defensive coordinator and everybody is confused as all get out, including Hassan Reddick, who was shocked when media members said to him, hey, it looked like a lot of guys on the all-22 were really confused about when they were supposed to be and when they were supposed to be out. So what's the deal there? And he gave a look like, oh, damn, they caught that? Oh, that's not good. And I think a lot of that goes back to the head coach. So I was all for the Eagles moving on from him. But here's why Nick Sirianni is back.
Okay.
Nick Sirianni is back because he does the number one thing the Eagles head coach is supposed to do. Makes Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman feel pretty damn important and feel pretty much like they run the show. Because let's face it, as we all know, they run the show. So Nick Sirianni does that number one thing on the objective, on the resume. What it should say is, it's your team. I'm just happy to be here. And that's what Nick Sirianni is, unfortunately. Now, I am not going to go down the path of, and I know this totally sounds like the opposite of what I just said, but I'm going to say this. I don't look at Nick Sirianni as if he does nothing. I don't look at him as some glorified mascot, but he is a guy the Eagles feel like they can work with, and Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. The unfortunate part of that is, to unpack it a little further, is that then the Eagles have themselves in this vicious cycle. So if the Eagles have a great year, which I think they are going to have a great year, I think they're going to go back to the playoffs. I think Jalen Hurts and this offense is going to be great. You mean I can't remember a time in the NFL where a team had a really good season, let's just say short of a Super Bowl win, but a really good season, and then they fired the head coach and hired the offensive coordinator or even the defense coordinator. I know it's happened during a season where an interim is taken over. Antonio Pierce is an example of this right now with the Raiders. He's taken over during the season, and they go, oh, look, we found somebody. You stay on. So the Eagles might be in a vicious cycle now where they just have to constantly change offensive coordinators, because with these offensive players that have been assembled and now kept together by Howie Roseman for the foreseeable future, this offense is going to be pretty damn good for the foreseeable future. So Kellen Moore might be the first of, did I say first? The third of like 17 more offensive coordinators that Jalen Hurts is going to have. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty bonkers to me. So I was against it. but he does that number one thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but you see that what you just said too. It's like he came in because he's supposed to be an offensive guru. He was supposed to come bring his offense that's going to be so electric, and take this team to the next level and all this stuff. And he had to bench himself, with Steichen.
Absolutely.
He had to bench himself with Steichen. Yeah. Then Steichen goes off. He brings in Johnson. You think it's going to be better, and it's not better. It's worse. And it's just like, yeah, why are you going to, new coordinators without getting rid of the head coach? I thought
for a number of reasons, the Chip Kelly era in Philadelphia really changed Jeffrey Lurie. It changed him because I'll never forget actually hearing the owner of a football team talk about emotional intelligence and talk about opening your heart. Mm-hmm. Is this Camp Kumbaya or is this the NFL? I thought it was the NFL. Now, the Eagles, in applying that type of philosophy, happened to win the franchise's first ever Super Bowl with a guy who was emotionally intelligent and who had a wide open heart in Doug Peterson. Yes. So they want to kind of continue that trend with Nick Sirianni, I think. But until this team hits a wall, until they start to lose, Nick Sirianni isn't going anywhere.
I agree.
All right, now back to more current news. How are you about these draft picks, man? Like, we need to know what Farzetta's take on these draft picks.
My take on this is our job was a lot more fun, fellas. Our job was a lot more fun when Howie Roseman sucked at his job, but now he's like good at it. Yeah. So I hate saying attaboy anybody that's a manager or a coach or a general manager, whatever the case may be in Philadelphia sports, because it's much more fun to act like you're the smart person. But damn it, Howie caught up with all of us, I guess. He has done himself a hell of a job with the draft. Look at it. Like, my first thought after the Eagles got Quinyon Mitchell was, okay, wait a minute. They get arguably the best corner in the draft. They really needed a corner, and the best player that was still available was Quinyon Mitchell, and they got him. And this is a year? This is like the next year after Jalen Carter went to the Eagles. Like, how did the NFL let that happen? And then the following year, Quinyon Mitchell is let to go to the Eagles after the run of offensive players for like the first 14 picks. Mind-blowingly crazy. And also, that's now, let's see, this year, last year was Jalen Carter. And then on draft day 3 years ago, not only you get Jordan Davis, who still has a lot to prove as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. The talent's there. The stamina has to follow. And they also get A.J. Brown. Like, Howie Roseman, ever since Jalen Reagor, and I will hold Jalen Reagor over the head of Howie Roseman forever, but damn, oh damn, oh damn. What he was able to do in the last three drafts has been spectacular. Even he broke drafting Jalen Hurts. Phil, here's where you get into this is where you get into the article or the argument of this. And this is where you really have to pull focus with people. And I'm sure you guys deal with this in your comments, people you deal with in your everyday life, people that talk about results, but they don't talk about philosophy. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Howie Roseman, idiotic, moronic violation of philosophy. Okay. To draft a quarterback after you just signed one to like $110 million in Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Okay?
Philosophically, that's dumb as hell. Okay. But
I thought it was a smart move.
How?
You know why it's a smart move? You know why? Why? Because we were paying backups who are trash big time money. Why not just get a guy in the draft? We were getting Chase Daniels big time money as a backup. Nick Foles, all these guys. I'm not saying Nick's trash, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we had these low quality McCown as a backup. We had all these guys that were not. We're getting like
you don't draft a backup in the first
right. A high quality backup. You'll save money that way. We didn't have to pay Jalen Hurts $10 million off the jump. We had to pay Jalen Hurts what? What's a rookie contract when in the second round? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's only making like $5 million. So it's now you got money to allocate other spots.
But you already those veterans are veterans and they've been around for a reason because they can at least play, they can manage a game or two. To draft a rookie into that, you're only doing one thing. You're lighting a fire to the guy who was supposed to be your franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz. And you already know that the guy is mentally weak. You couldn't even have Nick Foles come back here in Philadelphia because the guy had won a Super Bowl. You didn't want him backing up Carson Wentz. Like, that was not for Carson. Carson Wentz literally telling people of the coaching staff as the report came out, I don't want to do any of that Nick Foles crap. You know what I mean? Like, that's just bonkers to me. So philosophy and result are different. Having Jalen Hurts now.
Not only that, Mark, but real quick, not only that, but that same year, he drug like receivers, first quarterback in NFL history with no receivers over 500 yards. He drugged them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He drugged them to the playoffs. So you expect in the offseason to go get him some help, not a quarterback.
Right.
They did. They drafted a first round. Not like Jalen was a first round pick. Jalen was a second round pick. We drafted a receiver in the first round.
Who?
I think it was Jalen Reagor.
You made my point.
Okay, wait. It's easy to say now. I know it's easy to laugh at it now because Jalen sucked. Reagor sucked. But at the time, he was a high caliber receiver, and they made the wrong decision.
Only to the
they made the wrong decision, but they didn't. It's not like they didn't go, hey, I'm gonna help Carson first.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand, that's philosophy. But you're that right there.
Wasn't a first round pick. If he was a first round pick, I feel like Carson should have been all up in arms, worried about it. This guy's a second round pick. You're a first round pick. Don't even worry about who's behind you. You got paid the bag. Go play football. You know what I'm saying? Why are you worried about your backup?
That's philosophy. See that I agree with. They wanted to help Carson Wentz. That's why they took Jalen Reagor in the first round. Whether you think he was going to be good or not, I don't know anyone. I don't know a soul leading up to Jalen Reagor in the first round there that was like, well, here's my wide receiver board. Well, obviously it's Jalen Reagor up here, and then all the way down here is Justin Jefferson. I don't know a soul. I was banging the drum, as I'm not like claiming that I'm the only person that knew Justin Jefferson was going to be good by any means. It's just so astonishing that the Eagles looked at Reagor and went, no, this is the guy. Yeah, this is the guy for us, not Justin Jefferson. Anyway, that's all. Ancient history. But I love. Look what the Eagles did now: getting Cooper to John, still getting Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the 5th round. All that stuff. Like Will Shipley, like a lot of these guys. And I am really intrigued by Jalix Hunt. I love that he is supposedly, Daniel Jeremiah was talking about how much Vic Fangio is really high on him. He's one of his favorite players. Vic Fangio didn't go into details about players that he really helped scout. How he said, hey, here's some players I'm looking at. Anyone you're looking at? Yeah, okay, cool. And then that was it. He didn't go into any more detail about that in his press conference last week. But I really like this draft. I mean, to me, I think you got 2 long-term members of your secondary. I will say it like that. I would say Quinyon Mitchell will be your starting corner opposite Darius Slay. James Bradbury probably as of June 1st. They're just gonna eat a big old bag of cash. The Eagles on James Bradbury. It's just gonna be see you later, James Bradbury, deuces. And then I think the long term. I got asked this question recently. Long term, with Vic Fangio being here, maybe even to see a little bit of it this season. Cooper DeJean, I think, ends up playing safety a lot in his NFL career. He's extremely versatile. He's not the quickest in terms of being able to throw those hips open, and he's aggressive, and he is physical. Safety position for me and Cooper DeJean, kind of long-term, but not too long-term, makes a little bit more sense. And plus, the Eagles are pretty, I don't want to say they're stacked by any means at the cornerback position, but they have a lot of guys that I know could play corner that can't play safety. I know Cooper DeJean can come over here and play corner, but I also know he can go back there and play safety. So I think that's it. If a season goes on the way a season always seems to go, you get the injuries, they start mounting up. You have a versatile player like that. Odds are Vic Fangio will be moving him around.
That was my question too. Was Mitch Rodgers starting this season? Like, to be honest, my personal opinion, neither one of these guys start. Neither one of these guys start. They play. They don't start. Maybe towards the end of the season, one of them break out and start. But I really think right now, the way this team's built, like Bradbury, I know everybody hates him, but he was, 2 years off of freaking All-Pro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's not washed off the one bad year. In terms of, like, when you talk about the bad year happens, like when everybody was having a bad year last year, the whole defense had a bad year. Everybody from Hassan Reddick to freaking, Slay, everybody on the defense last year had a bad year towards the end of that season. So it's not like you can just point one finger at Bradbury, but he had the worst of the bad years. Like, they were all bad, and I think that he didn't have safety help like he normally had. Before the year before, when he had, CJGJ back there, Blankenship, no one knew of him. So he actually had some good games back there. He didn't have that help back there like he did last year too, which you shouldn't need someone to make your game better. But everybody knows it's a lot easier for cornerbacks if they have, talented safeties behind them. Now this year you go in there, you got CJ back. I'm saying? You got Blankenship back. You see, Sidney Brown's back this year. He's going to be healthy enough to start the season this year. So I think you have enough talent back there now. Plus, if you want to throw in a Cooper DeJean back there, I don't care which way it's shaped out in the back end, but I still feel like it's going to be Bradbury and Slay starting this season off, and maybe even, Rogers in the slot, or, I don't really feel so good about Maddox in the slot no more. I'm just tired of Maddox. I think I don't even know why we re-signed him back. I feel like there's enough cornerbacks back there to give one of those young guys a shot. But, even then, you still got Ricks, you still got Job, you still got Ringo, all these cats back there that can play that cornerback position. But I don't think off the jump, I think we're going to go with experience first. Vangio's old school. He's going to want that experienced cornerback in there. I think he's going to start out with Slay and Bradbury. Now, are these guys going to be the starters towards the end of the season or even next year? I can't speak on that. But I will say starting off this season, it's going to be Slay Bradbury.
No, I don't think so. There's no way the Eagles draft a cornerback, the number one cornerback, in my opinion, even though BG think that Terrion Arnold is, or else if he was that good, he would have went to Alabama. According to BG, if Mitchell was that good, he would have went to Alabama, even though Nick Saban tried to get him in transfer portal if he did hit, but he didn't hit. But anyways, I think that there's no way the Philadelphia Eagles draft a corner that high and have him sit and have a Bradbury that's, his aging a little bit, had a bad year. But also, if you have to depend on safety to help you out every freaking down, then you're not that good. Yes, because like the previous year, I understand he was an all-pro, whatever, but we was also getting pressure. We had 70-plus sacks, like third most in NFL history. Like we had never seen this before. Third most in NFL history that also, contribute to him having a good year. So you can't solely depend on that, because you saw when we wasn't getting to the quarterback, our DBs was like getting cooked left and right in time, all that stuff. So that's why I think that this draft was highly defensive, that we went on defensive side, which I said that we would. And then the following year, you could do whatever. But this draft was defense for a reason, and Vic Fangio had a hand in a lot of these players.
To your theory, you might as well start this guy at cornerback. You might as well start this guy at cornerback right here. What's his name? The boy name is
Sean Stevens.
Sean Stevens. You might as well. He led the nation with 18 interceptions the last 2 years on some, D2 school. So if you want to go small school just because of talent, this guy has all the talent in the world. He got the talented bloodline and all that stuff. So why don't you go think about starting it? He just got signed to a 3-year contract. You might as well go get that if you're down with the small school stuff. Like, for me, cornerback, everybody wants to say this guy's the next Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner went to Cincinnati. It's not that small of a school. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody watched Cincinnati game there. What, in the back, Big 12 or some shit? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? This is not – Sauce Gardner was a star. Everybody knew he was going to be a star. That's why he was drafted in the top, 10 picks. Starters from Alabama, like Patrick Surtain and these guys, these are all drafted in the top 12 picks in the draft for a reason. You see that no matter what, no matter if you need a quarterback, no matter if you need what defensive end, whatever, you're going to go draft this guy if you got a draft pick, early in the top 15, top 12 picks. And that's why they're drafted there. There's a reason why the first draft pick was my guy Latu, who I really thought the Eagles should have moved up and got. If you want to make a statement this year, you go get a guy like Latu to help these defensive ends out and, help our pass rush out. But there's a reason why he was the first. And he was the first at 15? So, no cornerback was even drafted until the 20s. So it's like there's a reason they were drafted that high too as well. These guys are not elite like these other guys, like a Sauce Gardner, like a Patrick Surtain. Like, they're not those type cornerbacks coming into the league this year that's going to come in and lock down your best receivers right off the jump.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. But, we will see. Like I said, we will see. I hope both of them end up being good. Like, you got two of them.
Oh, no, they're going to be they're going to be terrible, and they're going to be the worst things ever. It's going to be awful.
But, who are you cutting? Who are you cutting, Farzy?
James Bradbury is not going to play for the Philadelphia Eagles anymore. No. James Bradbury is gunzo. Gunzo. Two things I learned during the press conferences. Number one, I didn't realize Toledo ran a Fangio scheme. One of the things Quinyon Mitchell said was, yeah, we're going through everything now, but a lot of this is familiar to me. And I was like, okay, interesting. The other thing is the maturity level of Quinyon Mitchell is also very interesting because the communication, this is what you talk about Avonte Maddox. I don't think they are prepping for life with a lot of young guys. I think they want to make sure they have Darius Slay, they have a veteran Avonte Maddox, and they have two guys in the secondary that have been in the league for more than just a couple years. Now, obviously, Reed Blankenship is younger, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has been around there. I think he understands the freedom that a Vic Fangio defense can allow you. A lot of the Miami Dolphins players, before things went downhill pretty quick in Miami, a lot of things they talked about with Vic Fangio is it's hard to learn a new language, but once you know that language, you can live in that country. You understand the freedom. You have a good grasp of it. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is a guy that knows how to speak that language already. So I think that's interesting. But two things jumped out. One was the Quinyon Mitchell. I've run a lot of this before, which is good. The other is Howie Roseman being asked about the cornerback position and all but saying in what was probably the most forthcoming 3 days I've ever heard from Howie Roseman. In every press conference he had after the draft, it was like he got a little bit more punchy as the draft went on, and he was just tired and his head was spinning and he was answering questions honestly. And I'm like, he's actually being honest right there. He's not lying. Was when he was asked about the cornerback position, and he was like, look, we got to create a competition. We have to make sure that we have good guys in that position because we have to upgrade that position. And I'm like, oh, see you later, James Bradbury. That's the end of the road for you, son. Deuces.
But what was right before the draft? You heard the same guy you're talking about, Howie Roseman, come on in there and say that James Bradbury is about to come back and have a bounce back season.
What GM is going to say, yeah, we're going to get rid of him? Yeah. Nobody. Did he say that? Did he say that, or did he say he's under contract? He's under contract.
He did say that. He's like, yeah, we're confident in Bradbury, and Bradbury's, he was an All-Pro 2 years ago, and he's going to come back and have a bounce-back season this year. That's what we're hoping for, and that's what Bradbury wants to do this year.
He probably just got on the phone with another GM trying to get a third-round pick. That's probably what just happened before he said that.
Exactly.
I got to run soon, but hit me with any other questions you have for me.
But one more thing.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Enough. Do you think the Eagles did enough at the linebacker position?
No.
Better. Oh, okay.
It's like, in all honesty, I'm tired of attempting to be Paulie Pom-Poms when it comes to the linebacker position. Like, guys, I mean, how old are we now? You know what I mean? Like, this is something they care about. I wish it was. The only thing, if I had to really nitpick about the first two picks in the draft, like, I like Cooper DeJean. I like that he's here. But, man, Edgerrin Cooper, I was waiting for Edgerrin Cooper to drop in a very Nakobe Dean-esque, type of drop where, oh my God, he's not even going in the second round. Oh, damn, what's wrong? Oh, he went in the third round. How about that? But it didn't. He went 5 picks later to the Packers, if I'm not mistaken. So if they wanted to take a linebacker, he was right there. Yeah. He was right there. It was for the taking. And you saw, I'm sure you guys watched the draft video of Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie nerding out over, can we get Cooper DeJean? Oh, Carolina's on the board. We're not going to get him. Oh, they didn't take him. And then I believe they did like a bro hug for like 20 minutes. I think Jeffrey Lurie did a backflip, which is pretty impressive. He must do yoga. And then you drafted him, and they're that excited to have him. Look, I understand. I understand in this day and age, they just don't. Nobody really values linebacker that much anymore. I think of all the people that should, it's the Eagles who have been deficient in that area for a long time. The one thing I will say about Jeremiah Trotter goes back to an immediate connection to Vic Fangio. Communication in his okay, look, Quarters. We're going to hear a lot of quarters, okay? Not blitzing. Oh, they don't blitz. We're going to hear that a lot. Let me introduce two more buzzwords for when you guys are talking about Vic Fangio, when everyone's talking about Vic Fangio. Okay, we know about the quarters. We know about lack of aggression, lack of blitzing, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's introduce a new word. Communication. Communication is going to be paramount with these receivers, or excuse me, with these corners, covering receivers, everyone that's going to be a defensive back, even a linebacker dropping in the coverage, they're going to have to understand communication and understand what the overall philosophy of the defense is. So that communication has to be paramount in that. The switches that are going to go on, reading what's in front of you, relaying that to everything's going to be paramount. The other thing is discipline. One of my biggest takeaway of being out in San Francisco and watching those 49er teams with Vic Fangio and him running that defense was discipline. There was none of that, like guys over pursuing on the edges. There was no guys shooting the wrong gap, whatever the defensive assignment was, and later it would come out, yeah, I went to the wrong gap, whatever. All that stuff. They are a very aggressive, a very smart, well-disciplined defense. That's a Vic Fangio defense.
Yeah.
So Jeremiah Trotter Jr., having a father that has told him a lot about the NFL, granted the NFL back in in Axeman's day, not Hatchet Man's day, I think that will help. Not where he's going to be just like his father or anything over dramatic like that. I'm talking about it can only help his understanding of a Vic Fangio, now current pro style defense. Having a father that has already broken it down and knows how to break down, even though he didn't play with it. In fact, he played with a much different defensive coordinator than Jim Johnson. Even though it's much different, he still knows how to break it down to translate it to his son. And his son, from what I understand, incredible head on his shoulders and already has a great head start on some of the other young linebackers coming into the NFL.
Hey, one more for me. Do you think the Eagles are done? $27 million left with the salary cap. Do you think they're done? Do you think he's saving some money to re-sign some of these one-year deals if they start playing well? Or do you think he's going to make another big splash? And if so, what would you do? What players would you want?
They're definitely going to add more offensive line depth. And there is no way the Eagles are going to go into the season with this light a defensive line. Like, this is insane to me. Like, Fletcher Cox retired. Jordan Davis, get ready, fella.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter, I got enough confidence in Jalen Carter that he's going to be ready for it. But Milton Williams, I got a lot of confidence in. This defensive line is really going to have to step up without that veteran push. Like Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, those are your veterans now, fellas. Think about that for a second. You're going to need a lot more than that. So they always say they build in the draft, or excuse me, they build in the trenches. They usually use the draft for that. They have, for the most part. But I wouldn't be shocked at all if they continue to try to bolster that defensive line, and they are going to get more offensive line help. Those are two guarantees. Before the Eagles open training camp, I think those will be in place. As for like a splashy name that's out there, that I don't know of just yet. I'd love to say that it's going to be the linebacker position, but we just went over that, so that's not happening. But
that's Campbell.
It's possible. It's possible. Justin Simmons would be awesome. Awesome. But I think with if that is still open, if that is still a possibility, then I think the Eagles are going to be looking to move possibly one of their two corners that they just drafted in the not too distant future. They might be packaged in the deal itself. But I think if the Eagles were going to make a move for Justin Simmons, it would have happened already.
Okay.
What about even getting like a Hunter Renfrow for your third receiver?
For me, groom somebody. I want to be able to put that awesome all Madden team together, and you're pretty close with this Eagles offense already, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I hate saying this because, we've only experienced one Super Bowl in our lifetime, fellas, but we're pretty spoiled with this offense. And when people start arguing, or not arguing, but when people bring up the third wide receiver, I'm like, I'm cool, man. Yeah. Like, let's develop some of the younger guys that are out there. Let's give some of those guys an opportunity. Let's see what a guy like Will Shipley could do it at that spot. Let's see what some other guys that might be running back / slot receivers. See what they could do. develop them before you go out and try to add another piece to a pretty already stacked offense. And also, without Quez Watkins, let's just call it addition by subtraction. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, don't be busting on my boy Quez like that. Hey, the schedule come out tomorrow. Mark, any game you're really looking forward to watching?
Oh, absolutely. Some Brazil. I can't wait. It's going to be a great time. Yeah. I mean, you always look forward to the Cowboys. You want to know when that's going to go down. I married into a family of Browns fans.
Ooh.
So already, their judgment's terrible. Anyway, I look forward to that game for personal reasons.
At New Orleans, possibly twice.
I love New Orleans. New Orleans is a great time, man. I don't need to tell you guys that. That's a great time. Yeah. That's a great time. But yeah, I always look forward to it.
Thanks, brother. It's awesome having you on the show as always, man. We definitely go, closer to the season and, enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Back at you. Always great being on with you guys. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Later. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
I love it, man. I love it. Love it. Love it. Farzetta, man. He's good, man. He's good.
Yo, I told you our offense is good. You keep trying to bring offense up. Our offense is good, especially at the third wide receiver. We have plenty of talent for the third wide
receiver is Kellen Moore's go-to guy.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? That's the thing you got to realize. All the offenses he's ever coached, Kellen Moore uses at third receiver.
It doesn't matter. We got two guys that's making over $25 million a year. I don't care about the third wide receiver. And the tight end, that should be a top 5 tight end. Bump that third wide receiver. I don't care. But you're trying to upgrade, and trying to draft a number 1 wide receiver to put him in the goddamn slot. That's why I'm here, folks. To tell y'all the real truth that BIRDGANG over here, La La Land.
I just keep you facts. That's why I just keep the facts rolling. Okay, I keep the facts rolling. That's the reason why you guys are all stoned when I break things down. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Let's go. Is our boy Jalen Hurts going to have a bounce back season this year in 24?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jalen Hurts was handicapped. I'm sorry. He was playing handicap with this offensive coordinator that didn't know what the hell they were doing. You know what I mean? And you saw that throughout the year. Even though our offense wasn't even that bad, right? Our offense was top 5 in the league, averaging 25.5 points a game. Just top 5 in the league. So that means that he was doing his job while being handicapped, right? You know what I mean? Like, why not having the middle open? Like, he was playing with one hand tied behind his back. Yes, he has some interceptions and some turnovers, but a lot of that stuff was bad offensive play call, like, second guessing himself, this and that. So I blame this on the offensive coordinator, but we thought, especially you, that, with Brian Johnson taking over, that Jalen Hurts boy. But I always told you, that's not a relationship that Jalen Hurts even wanted. Because he liked to be coached hard. When he messed up, he liked to be told he messed up. I didn't see that in Brian Johnson. He was like, "Oh yeah, man, I know you since I was changing your diapers, and it's okay. You did good. We'll get him next time." No, he literally said he liked to be coached hard. He liked to be cussed at. He liked to be like, "You do this, you do that. You screwed up this and that." We didn't see none of that. It was like always like, okay, he got it. Oh, hey, it's the same offense from last season. He got it. No adjustments was being made. No motion, no nothing. It was a dry, stale offense that even freaking Christian McCaffrey on his freaking couch calling out our goddamn plays. That's how suck it was.
That's horrible. That was horrible.
If not, fire everybody. Kellen Moore.
Fire everybody is what I was saying.
And hire me as a goddamn OC. Motion, right? Motion, goddamn it. Hey, that's already an upgrade. This team motion is an upgrade.
Oh, no. He did not say hire me. Hire me, JC says. That being said, he's having his bounce back season. I do believe Jalen will come back this year stronger than ever. Even though it's going to be a new coordinator, I feel like the team, the whole dynamics of this offense, not only it's gonna be the first time new coordinator, but we gave him more toys. You know what I'm saying? Like he got some young receivers up for that third spot. You know, plus a couple of veterans. You got Saquon Barkley coming. You got Will Shipley coming. Like these are going to be guys. Saquon's one of the best backs in the league. You know, he's one of the best pass blocking backs in the league. He's one of the best runners in the league. He can catch the football. He can do it all. You know, I think he's going to have a monster this year too as well. But you know, I think that's really going to open up this passing game, you know, and I think you're going to see Devontae and AJ do it again, you know, both 1,000 yards 3 years in a row. You know, I think Devontae's going to have some more touchdowns this year, and Jalen's going to have less turnovers this year. That's what I'm hoping for. I feel like the biggest thing from last year to this year is Jalen's health. Last year, Hurts was not healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was hurt the whole damn season.
The year before, he wasn't healthy either. Like
like the whole damn season. Like the year before, he was hurt at the end of the season. He was hurt towards the end of the season. This was like the whole season he was hurt. You know, and I'm looking for him to be healthy this year. I think just that little bit of thing, plus the pressure, Saquon's going to take off him because, like, yes, we've had 1,000-yard running backs the last couple of years, but none of them to the lights of Saquon Barkley. I think he's going to have a bigger impact than people he can even imagine right now once he hit that football field.
Okay, so real quick, hey, let's listen to this. All right, I don't know if you heard it already or what, but what is your take on what this Acho guy said about Jalen Hurts? All right, you ready?
Let's go.
All right.
Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. He is not an elite quarterback. That's why he didn't get drafted at an elite level. Jalen Hurts was good enough to get you there. He's not good enough to win it, both in college and in the NFL. It's not an indictment. How many guys are good enough to win it? Jalen Hurts gave you 37 touchdowns, I believe, his MVP year. He gave you 38 his next year. I don't think he is as good as he was his Super Bowl year. I don't think he's as bad as he was last year. He's somewhere in the middle.
Really quick, Acho, because you can always find stats to make dudes look good.
Mm-hmm.
With our eyeballs, as we all set up here, and we seen Slim here some days, we didn't see Slim here some days because this was the Eagles season.
Yep.
With the way he played last year, with your eyes, you saying that's good football?
I think Jalen Hurts, here's what I'm saying. I don't think he played that much better. The interceptions are something, but I don't think he played that much better his Super Bowl year. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback.
All right. All right. So, hold on. All right, so what is this? He's good enough to get you there, but not good enough to win it. All right, so, okay, let's just take the elite off the table. According to him—
I'm not taking the lead off the table. Jalen Hurts is the lead quarterback.
Huh?
So I'm not taking the lead off the table. Jalen Hurts is the lead quarterback.
Okay, well, all right, so you can keep it on. All right, so if we're talking about his take, right, because he did respond back to my tweet, by the way. I did— yes. You know, like I did tweet him, and I was like, wait a minute, where did you was you sleeping? Like, was you sleeping when the Super Bowl was going on, right? And he was like, man, let me find this real quick because I really don't want to get this mixed up right here real quick.
Oh yeah, and y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this content, you know. Go over to all the channels, hit that like for us. You know, that'd be much appreciated. Keep this content going.
All right. So this was my tweet, right? Right. And you see, so I was like, this is such a bad take by Acho. I guess you were asleep during the Super Bowl that Jalen Hurts played in. All I saw was an historic performance, good enough to win, but defense decided to wet the bed. He retweeted me back. Right, he retweeted back and was like, elite is a top 10%. Jalen Hurts is not top 3 quarterback in the NFL. You would even say that. Regarding the Super Bowl, there were some incredible moments, but as the defender, I can't overlook a fumble for a touchdown, which was anywhere from 7 to 14-point swing. And I was like, even after that fumble, he still gave his team not one, but 2 10-point, lead. Am I correct? If defense get one stop, we're not having this conversation, and Hurts would be Super Bowl MVP. So is Lamar, Burrow, Herbert, just to name a few, are they elite? You know what I mean? So, like, my whole thing with this is I don't know what they're going off of anymore, right? You said that he's good enough to get you there, but not good enough to win it. But then there's only one guy that got there and won it. It's Patrick Mahomes. So are we going off passing touchdowns? Because total touchdowns, like you said, Jalen Hurts is set in NFL history, NFL records. So what is it? What is it? So, and that's what I wanted to find out. So in your mind, just based on what he said, do you even understand what the hell he's saying?
No, Alcho's talking out of his ass. You know, like he does that from time to time. Sometimes he's giving him love. Sometimes he's just talking silliness. Like, what do you mean? You're trying to say he's like a Dak Prescott or something like that? I'm not sure.
He can't be. And they're passing best and make it best to the divisional round. So he can't be.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you look at it, it's like Jalen Hurts was not the reason why we didn't win the Super Bowl. And all the people that keep saying, oh, it was the fumble, it was a fumble, it was a fumble. Really? I was going to say you're going to keep saying it was the fumble the whole time. Really? Because I don't believe it was the fumble that caused, like you said, it was in the, first or second quarter of the game. He's had 2 double-digit leads after that fumble. It's like, how can you even go back to the fumble after 2 double-digit leads from your quarterback? You can't go back to the fumble, or you don't know football, man. That was the least amount of it. It was a bad call at the end on Bradbury, even though Bradbury came out and said it was a good call. He's trying to save face. But in reality, that was a horrible call that happens every day, every Sunday in the NFL without getting called, and that was a trash call. And then, you know, how you going to let a dude with a broken ankle run all over you in the second half as a defensive coordinator? You know, Patrick Mahomes had like 3 long-ass runs, no sacks. The guy was
to the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Like, everything. Like, all that. So, all that had to go against us, right? 0 sacks. All season, we've been leading the league. 70 sacks, historic numbers, right? Not one game without a sack, you know what I mean, in the regular season. And then in the Super Bowl, a punt return all the way down to the 5-yard line. No sacks. The field. And he still, you know, was accounted for 4 touchdowns. And then you're going to say he's not good enough to win it? That was he should have won the MVP on the losing team.
Like, people like always just goes like, you know, with Jalen, with the whole Russian thing don't count. You know, like, it's like, I don't know how people do that part. You know, I don't understand just because he's a quarterback why it has to all just be from the passing. Like you say, you know, 38 touchdowns, that's a lot of touchdowns, period. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're running backs getting double-digit touchdowns. You know, and you got all these other guys, cats out there getting touchdowns. It's like, come on now. It's like, you got to add everything with him. Will he ever be your 4,500, 5,000-yard passer? No. But that's not his style quarterback. There's different styles of quarterback. You know, there's the Peyton Mannings that like to stand there in the pocket, throw 4,000 yards every season. You know, you got the Tom Brady's that didn't even start throwing big numbers till they had Randy Moss. You know, he's winning Super Bowls without throwing big numbers. You know, just being consistent, conservative, dink and dunk type quarterbacks. You know, it's just what you got. And we got one of the best quarterbacks, one of the most elite quarterbacks, you know, breaking records. His winning percentage says it. You know, his overall, you know, rushing and passing over per game says it. It's like he's broken records every year, every week. It's like you hear another Jalen Hurts record being broken from a guy his age. So he's still young. He still got some more time to develop. I do think he will get to the 4,000-yard mark eventually here shortly. If not this year, maybe the next year. I do think he has that good of an arm to do that. If you think about it, you take away 15 interceptions, right? You're looking at completions, and those completions would have been more yards, which would have got him over the 4,000 mark. So I don't see Jalen throwing 15 interceptions anymore or having 15 turnovers anymore. No. I think he's going to be a lot more cleaner this year. Kellen Moore is going to help him out. You look at when Kellen Moore was in Dallas, they had a great offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had, like I said, the first receiver did good, the second receiver did good, the third receiver did good. The 2 running backs were awesome at the time. And I see the same thing happening here in Philly. So I think, like I said, Jalen's going to have his bounce back here. Everybody's going to shut up again or going to keep talking. Because I don't think, even if Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl and throws for 4,000 yards and does all this stuff, I doubt anybody's still going to give him the respect he deserves, and it's, you know, in this league. So you can always be here.
Look, I think they will. Look, even if he doesn't throw for 4,000 yards or have, you know, over 40 passing touchdowns, I think that they will give him his respect because, one, he's a Super Bowl winner, right? He's a Super Bowl champ. So you have to automatically put respect on his name. But at the same time, will the argument change? Is it now, okay, hey, you got to pass for 4,000 yards? Because, well, Hurts did not pass for 4,000 yards, and they won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? So now it's teams going to be just like Lamar, right? Teams kind of draft quarterbacks to be dual threat quarterbacks. But then when you try to be dual threat, you get ding on that because you don't throw for 40 touchdowns, but you run for 15 touchdowns. But that don't count because you get pushed in the end zone, which is bullshit. You know what I mean? That's the thing that's pissing me off, right? They get pushed in the end zone or running for 5-yard or 10-yard touchdown. It's a score. So that's in my check at the end of the game. Is whoever had the most score win the goddamn game. And that's how we lost in the Super Bowl, because we didn't have the most score.
Yeah. And Jalen Hurts have some of the best runs in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? You can look at other guys like Nick Foles when he won his Super Bowl. I know he was a backup, but, Nick Foles was never a 4,000-yard. Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, there's a lot. Eli Manning, I don't even think was consistent 4,000-yard quarterback when he won 2 Super Bowls. So it's like there's no real way, as long as a Super Bowl is a team sport. Like you said, Jalen Hurts had the best Super Bowl by any quarterback ever, and lost. So, besides Tom Brady, I think the year he played us, Tom Brady threw for like 500 yards and lost to us. So all them yards throwing and all that, all that stuff doesn't matter if you don't win the football game at the end of the day. And that's a team sport, so until our team is ready to win that Super Bowl is when our team's going to be ready to win it. And I think, this year we have a good opportunity of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm all for it, man. Bounce back, a bounce back season for Jalen Hurts. But not only Jalen Hurts, I think this whole team is going to bounce back, man, especially on the defensive side. So what's your next question?
The next, what we got up here? We just skip the schedule to last. Let's go Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio. What is your take on him after finally hearing them after this offseason? Everybody's like, we haven't even heard our coaches say anything. Are they really our coaches? You heard them talk. You heard them come out there. Are you confident that these are 2 guys?
Look, man, hey, like I tell people at work, I'm from Missouri, right? I'm from the Show Me State. The Show Me State, even though I'm from Jersey, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Hey, they have to show me. All right, Vic is talking some, it's some spicy stuff, right? Everybody is gonna learn his base defense, right? And then, he's gonna make them learn different positions. I love it. So, like I told y'all before, we don't have BIRDGANG in the kitchen. You got JC in the kitchen. I taught BIRDGANG how to cook. You got me in the goddamn kitchen. I'm the chef. BIRDGANG is
he is not the chef, y'all. Don't let them hype you up. Like you said, bringing that passion, energy, bullshit.
BIRDGANG is a super
I tell the truth of the truth, baby. I tell the truth of the truth.
I'm back. I'm back in the kitchen. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. So Vic Fangio, he's the chef. He knows exactly what he's doing. Like, this draft was heavily handpicked by Vic Fangio. I don't care what anybody says. The positions, the no-name players, right? You know what I mean? That he picked. This is his guys that he could turn water into wine. Hey, you saw that linebacker with the Dolphins. You wanted him on the Eagles. What, Vin Winkle or whatever his name is? But this dude was playing our position. And he was one of the top linebackers in the NFL last season and making plays. Why? Because Vic Fangio knows how to get the best out of his players. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen just based on his press conference. As far as Kellen Moore goes, I feel like he's still going to keep some plays from last season, but he definitely going to be a little spicy with it. A lot of motion, you know what I mean? And using the running backs more, the tight end more. Goddard, welcome to the Pro Bowl, Goddard. Because I feel like that Dallas Goddard will be going
That'd be nice.
Bowl, especially with a Kellen Moore offense. I'm telling you right now, we never hated on Kellen Moore. We just hated the Dallas Cowboys. But I've been trying to tell people that. I never said anything bad about Kellen Moore. It was always Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys. I can't stand them cockroaches, right? Hey, when they're doing good, they're all out everywhere. When they're doing bad, they go hiding in the dark like roaches, right? You turn on the light, oh shit, look all these roaches around, right? You know what I mean? But you turn off the light and they go hiding. But it is what it is. I think that Kellen Moore is going to do an outstanding job. This will be his best core of talent, receivers, tight end, offensive line. that he ever had a chance to coach with. I can't wait to see what he's going to do with the slot receiver, like you saying. And that's why I say Paris Campbell, he's a proven wide receiver. You know, the Smith dude that we drafted, I want him to be in a slot receiver with Devontae, with AJ. This offense is, look, my bold prediction, the Eagles will be the number one scoring offense in the NFL.
I like it. I like it. Like you said, I feel like Kellen Moore came out and said the right things, and his addition to what we already have, because you got to look at even the last 2 years, even last year being a down year, our offense was still tops in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still had 2,000-yard receivers. We still had a 1,000-yard rusher, but we still had a top offense in the NFL. Having a guy that's going to bring some new wrinkles, like the motioning. I think I'm looking forward to seeing some motioning in this offense. Maybe throw some running back screens in there. I've seen some of those on some of Kellen Moore's highlights. I always thought we were lacking thereof, having a guy like Saquon Barkley giving them the ball in open space with lead blocks. I think that'd be smart. And I think he's going to just bring that dynamic we were missing. I think all the rest of the stuff that we had, the deep ball, the AJ slants and all that stuff's going to always be there. But I think he's going to throw just enough wrinkles. And it's not really about what new plays he's going to call. It's about how he calls the plays and then situations in which he calls the plays. I think this coach is experienced enough to where he's been in the league doing this at a high level for long enough to know when to call the play, how to call the play, what play needs to set up, what play. Like you heard him talking about setting up plays. Everything's going to be disciplined. Everything's going to be smooth, easy, and sequence, So I think that this offense is going to look a lot more clean. I think that was the word he liked to use, clean. He wants everything to be clean in his offense. It's going to be Jalen Hurts going to be able to go to the line, make clean calls. The offensive line going to be able to make clean calls, understand what they're doing before the ball is hiked, and we're going to have a lot of explosive plays this year. So, and then when you got a guy like Saquon Barkley, I think you're going to be feeding him the ball. Vic Fangio, man, he gave me that old school vibe, that old school football vibe. He's like, basically, I loved it. I loved it when he was just like, you see it now, like basically calling all the players now pussies. At the end of the day, he's calling them all pussies. He's like, these guys don't want to do nothing. I'm saying? They think they're over glorified and whatever, that they don't have to do nothing. If you want to work hard, you got to work hard from the beginning to the end. I'm saying? We need people that are in here just gonna be dogs, working hard and, understanding, how to listen to your coach. If the coach tells you to do this, you go do it. I'm saying? You don't be a diva about any of it. Don't complain about any of it. It's bad enough. Like you said, we don't have enough padded practices. We don't have enough, practices in general where we can even do anything besides helmets and shorts. Like the NFL's turned a lot softer due to injuries, and you're going to have to make the most with the time you got. And from that time, he wants people to be going out there, landing on the line, hitting people, hurting people. They want old school thumping football. I think he's going to bring back a different style of football because he's going to get the most aggressive, most, smart defenders on our team to be starting this year. And they go out there and have a great year. I just feel it like he's old school. And I love that old school vibe about him. Like you said, there's a lot of people that run variations of his defense, but it's never been his defense, because he doesn't even really have a defense. He changes his defense from team to team, scheme to scheme, place to place as he goes. So it's like you might have, a little tinkle here or tinkle there. But the good thing is we brought disciples over the last couple of years to get ready for him. Like the last 2 years we had JG, we had Desai. These are all guys teaching the same kind of technique for the chef. Like you knew how to make, you got the recipe, you learn more parts of the recipe until you get to the chef. Now he's going to show you the whole recipe, and now you're going to have everything you need to know. With JG, we did lead the league in sacks. Okay. That's one part of it. Decide early, he was making decisions early in the season. He was able to come back at halftime and make adjustments and come back and help us win football games. Now you're meshing that together and throwing it into the pot with the head chef, and he's going to come up and cook some defenses up this year.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that stuck out to me with Kellen Moore press conference was like a lot of these plays are going to be dummy plays. He's just trying to get the defense to think. Like a lot of these motions are just to get the defense out of position, and that's what I like. right? I mean, so if this guy, all right, it could be the same play, but he's just moving there, and now he was, oh shoot, is it the same play? Now the defense is switching everywhere, and then you snap the ball, the defense is out of position, and it's the same play without going through all these little, extra plays, just trying to change your play because of the defense. I think the defense is going to change your defense more than the Eagles are going to change the play for the defense. And which what is good, because now it's less thinking for Jalen Hurts, because he's reading the defense. He's like, okay, all right, boom. It's the same play, but the reverse side. You know what I mean? Because the defense already switched, all confused. So I like the fact that he wants to play mind games with the defense, and that's what's going to make us even better. Open holes up for Saquon Barkley, open holes up for a lot of people. And I'm telling you, this might going to be the best offense we ever seen as a Philadelphia Eagles team, because this is the most talent we ever had.
Yes, since you said that about Saquon, will Saquon be a top 3 back on the Eagles this year? I hear a lot of noise, on Twitter, on YouTube about Saquon's not really that good. He's injury prone, even though if you look at it, the last couple of backs the Eagles has been injury prone, except for when it came to our team. DeAndre Swift was injury prone until he came to the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else was injury prone until they get to the Eagles. So I think you can take that side of it out of it. Just the talent alone, high draft pick, superstar potential. And I think they even showed, like if you looked at it, do I have that clip in here? Did I save the clip? It showed how, he wasn't that far from, I don't think I loaded it. He wasn't that far from McCaffrey in terms of all yards and, all-purpose yards. He's been on the Giants the whole team, where he was the main focus of the offense. Every game plan, every defense was going in there to stop Saquon Barkley. If you stopped Saquon Barkley, you had a chance to beat the Giants, and the Giants lost a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? Because they were able to do it. So having the pressure off of Saquon, bringing him to a team with one of the best offensive lines. I don't care if Kelsey's gone. If we're going to have a replacement, perfectly fine. They're ready to roll. He's not the first legend, offensive lineman the Eagles ever replaced. There was a John Ryan before time. There was a Trey Thomas before time. There was a JP Peter before time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just been great players. Brandon Brooks before time. There have been great players that have been replaced on this offensive line. That's one thing the Eagles do a great job at doing. So I'm not worried about it. So do you think that this guy can finally show his full potential and become? I think he can be the best back this year. I think he will overtake CMC as being the best running back in the league this year.
Well, you took my take. Congratulations again. You're trying to give both sides and play both sides. But anyways, I think that Saquon Barkley will be the best back in the league, because when you play the 49ers, you take away C-Mac, you shut down the offense. Because one, that Brock Purdy himself is not that mobile, so there's no dual threat of him running out the pocket or anything like that. So now you can focus on the wide receivers and just play a little bit more press. But on the Philadelphia Eagles, there's no way you could load the box for a Saquon Barkley, because then you have the threat of Jalen Hurts running out the box. Then you have the threat of one-on-ones with AJ and Devontae and Dallas Goedert. So this offense, Saquon Barkley will be the number one, especially my fantasy folks out there. If you're a fantasy player, I'm giving you free advice. I did win my league last year. I'm a 4-time fantasy football champ. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a 4-time fantasy football league winner.
So you got lucky my players were hurt. You got lucky my players got hurt.
Hey, you play who's on the field, boss man. If whoever's on the field, you play. But like I was saying, but Saquon Barkley will be the best back, because not only that he could run and catch, but he has weapons around him that don't allow the defenses to only game plan for Saquon Barkley. There's no way you could game plan for one person on the Philadelphia Eagle offense. So just like that Mark was saying, this offense is loaded. It is borderline a cheat code. It's unfair for defenses to go up against. So So that's why the pressure is on Jalen Hurts this year to perform, because you have no excuse. Like, you have a good tight end, some wide receivers, and the best running back in the league. When healthy, the shiftiness, everything, the speed, the squats. This dude got tree trunk for days, right?
Yeah.
So, there's no way he would not be the top back, and he might win Offense Player of the Year. Another bold prediction from your board right now. Saquon Barkley will win the Offense Player of the Year next year.
I like it, man. I think it's possible. It's even possible he can win MVP. He's
a running back, so it's hard.
Running back can do it too.
Look, over 2,000 yards, all-purpose yards as a running back, almost
2,500 all-purpose yards from Saquon.
But then who had almost? Then Christian McCaffrey almost had that though, or probably had that. And still
he almost had 2,000 yards. But that's been done.
Purpose yards.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You realize the 2,000 mark has been done before. You have Mark Farzetta do that, LaDainian Tomlinson do that, Brian Westbrook do that. So that's good, but it's rare. But it's not like it's never been done to when you. But if you go 2,500 all-purpose yards, which you can do. Like, I think I said it last year, and I really should have said it. I'm saying it more this year than for last year. It was like the year we went to the Super Bowl was more defensive strong. You know what I'm saying? It was that defense that, the offense was good. Don't get me wrong. The offense was good, but the defense was really that juggernaut part of the team.
70 sacks, bro. Come on. You can't take that away.
I think this year, with all the young development of the defense, the offense is going to be so damn good. The offense is going to lead the Super Bowl and going to win it for us. Like you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, like their defense was good, but the offense always wins it for you. And I think this is going to be the year the offense wins the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the defense is not going to be bad, but it's going to be like the Viper. You know how the defense that year was like number 1, but the offense was like number 3 or something like that, number 3 or 4. It's going to be reversed. It's going to be like that. Offense number 1 offense in the league, and the defense is going to be like 2 or 3 right there. We're going to be right there making them out. So I do believe Saquon will be the best back in the league.
Yeah,
for sure. What else we got on here? Hey, I know. It's old school news, but Chip Kelly destroyed the Birds, right? Like, did you hear the Deshaun 25-10 show? Give me your take on that one. I made a video about it, but give me your take on that one.
I didn't listen to every little bit, but yes, the whole game tie thing came out and Chip jumped he jumped the gun. But I feel like there's a lot of I'm probably with the 1%ers of the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like there's a lot of good that came out the Chip Kelly thing. Because one, it opened up our owners' eyes. To give Howie back his goddamn job. Because remember, and when Chip Kelly came on board, Howie Roseman was sent to the closet. All right, he was like, go, hey, you're on punishment, go to the closet. And Chip Kelly was the GM and the coach. That's why he was able to do everything. And that opened Jeffrey Lurie's eyes. With that being said, he opened Jeffrey Lurie's eyes, and we won a Super Bowl just based on a lot of mistakes and the good and the bad. Then Chip Kelly draft. Then he draft Lane Johnson.
But that was a logical pick, even if he wasn't head coach.
He drafted.
Randy was coach. He was drafting Lane Johnson. Anybody Eagles coach was going to be drafting Lane. We know we go off the line first.
Yes,
he did. No Lane Johnson, my guy.
So he got rid of some of our youngest, not like some of our best and youngest talent around the league. Not only on the Eagles, but around the league. But LaShawn McCoy won a
all-pro LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah, all-pro. He won a rushing title, all-pro LaShawn McCoy. DJ, the best deep threat wide receiver
ever.
Almost in NFL history. Macklin didn't even want to play for him no more. So he was the only one there. And then you put some guy like Riley Cooper. Hey, and we don't know about Riley. But there were some, the Kiko Alonso for LaShawn McCoy. It was a whole bunch of BS. But at the end of the day, we won a Super Bowl just based on his bad decisions. And and Jeffrey Lurie opening up his eyes, and Howie Roseman coming back and building a team. So yes, I understand he ruined some guys' careers, but as a fan,
B-Jack still shook from it.
Yeah.
It's been years. He still shook from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that, man. Like, you took an interview. You didn't even like talk to this cat about it. You know, like everybody knew it was bullshit when it happened, but to hear how it happened, you know, like you don't talk to the guy. You know, you don't use him in the playoffs. He don't talk to you. You know, the whole nitpicking on all these superstars. They said he was nitpicking on JPP. He was nitpicking on LaShawn McCoy, on Deshaun Jackson in practice. Like, these were all star players, man. Like you said, I do think the things I think is good that he brought, like you said, yes, open your eyes. Yes, it made Howie go back to the lab and learn how to do his job at a higher rate. You know, but I also look at our team was lazy as hell. With, you know, 5 straight NFC championships, dude. Like, our team felt entitled. And I think that's why we came out and dropped that bomb that 4-12 season. They all thought they were off their names, that they're entitled, that they're just going to bounce back and do it again. And reality shook and hit them. And then when Chip came in, he just wanted to take away that entitleism. You know, and I think with all that high speed, no huddle offense, like if you looked at our team after Chip left,
that Chip thought he was in college, man, that it was easy to transition, that you thought that you was going to get the same mindset as players wise from college to the pros, right? He came to the pros with older players, and you know, and he was trying to get the Oregon people to the Eagles. You know what I mean? The young, quick, fast, hurry up offense. But then you had the wrong quarterback. Sam Bradford was your quarterback to run that type of offense. Like, no, you needed a mobile quarterback like you had in Oregon. You know what I mean? So it's just one of them things.
You had Michael Vick until you pushed him out of the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm just saying, like, that fast space, the smoothies were good. You know, our players were getting healthier. I do think that kind of stuff was good for our team because, like I said, I noticed after he left, our team was more in shape. Our team had a little bit more, you know, like endurance to their football team after he left, as opposed to like before he even got there. Like, I feel like everybody kind of got lax. Everybody was like, oh, entitled, thinking they were going to go back to the championship. So it took the Chip Kelly to coming. And like, did he just cutting Deshaun Jackson was a mistake? Fuck yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shady. You know, not even letting him wear socks that he wanted to wear. Telling other players they need to cut his hair. You know, like, the culture, not being able to accept black culture was a huge thing for him.
It was an uncomfortable situation.
It was uncomfortable for him, and I think that was horrible.
If you were a minority player, black player, you were walking on eggshells. Like, I mean, there was a report that he wasn't even talking to them, like, when they was crossing, like, in the hallway. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is an uncomfortable situation, especially when your team, when the NFL, a lot of players in the NFL more than, you know, like, are black, or minorities. But it is what it is, man. I mean, I know that they created a podcast and now they want to tell the fans, and now we back in the mix. I'm over it, man. Look, I'm on 2024 season. Let's go win this Super Bowl ring and let's move on. I don't want to go revisit because those were some dark days.
They were very dark days.
Yo, I got my freaking by the way. Yo, I have a jersey. You know what I mean? Yo, I have a Simon McCoy jersey in a frame, by the way. And then the following season, he got traded. Every jersey I've got of a Philadelphia Eagle player, the following season they were traded. That's why I don't buy jerseys no more. McNabb, Vick, McCoy, they all were traded. Like the season, like the year I bought the jerseys, the following season, they all were gone. So that's why I don't buy jerseys no more. Yo, I buy shirts and hats, but not jerseys. You will not see me in a jersey.
Yeah, you got your Devontae jersey.
And I'm not wearing it, though. I'm not wearing my Devontae jersey because of you, BG. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out to BG, man, for getting me that Devontae jersey because guess what? Your boy told the truth, and he lost a bet, and he had to buy me a Devontae Smith jersey. Look at
close enough. I was almost the other way around. But it is what it is. We're going for that. Now, another thing I want to talk about for sure, like, you know, we're going to talk about the schedule. You know, the schedule release is tomorrow. You know, and everybody we all kind of know who we're playing. We just know when we're playing them. I think I seen the stat. It's like we have like one of the lowest strength schedules again. You know, remember?
That can't be.
Yeah, one of the lowest strength schedules. Like, look how far down we are. 1, 2, 3,
how far down we are because the Eagles schedule thing is up.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Take that banner down real quick.
22, 23, 24, 20. Oh, the banner?
Yeah. I can't
we are like,
where are we at?
24th down there. Hold on, let me take the banner now.
Well, I mean, I think
like
maybe
last time we had this kind of schedule, guess what? We went to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
I really think it's because of our home teams, because all the hard teams that we're playing are on the road. Like, you know, the Saints, the Ravens, the Browns, like all the hard teams that we playing. I think we play the Browns at home, but that's a shitty. Wait, is it the Browns at home? Whatever it is, but a lot of the hard games are away, and the easy games are at home. So that's why I think, because where you play your opponent at, you know, the strength of it. So we'll see. But
this is based off the win percentage of the teams last year.
That week.
That would have said it's off the win percentage. Like
the Giants got like the 4th, 5th hardest schedule. Nah, because they were a last place team. So how is that even possible? Because usually, like, the top 2 teams get like the, you know, all right. So the Dallas Cowboys won the division. They usually play all the division winners. You know what I mean? Like, they played the division winner, which is supposed to be harder, right? So how the hell the Giants have a harder schedule than the Dallas Cowboys that won the division?
You know why? Because you gotta look at it like this. They have a hard schedule because of our division.
Oh, come on, man. Our division is 2-team race. Come on, man. Ain't nobody think that.
But the Eagles had a lot of wins last year. The Cowgirls had a lot of wins last year. Washington Commanders have more.
Who else? Come on, man. Only the Eagles and the Cowboys had some wins.
Washington beat us, man. Yeah, like that didn't happen.
Come on. Okay, bro. Hey, are we talking about, any given Sunday, you could beat any team any given Sunday? Or are we talking about they got them record? They got them, you know, picking the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. What are we talking about here?
I'm just saying.
It
was like the same thing that happened to the Eagles the year that the Eagles had the weakest schedule. It was because that year, you know,
the year the Eagles had the weakest schedule, we went to the Super Bowl, but then we had the hardest schedule. But if you look at the teams that we beat, by the end of that year, we was above 500 of teams that we beat. So it wasn't that weak after all.
I don't know, man.
Nah, man. Nah.
I just think that's crazy that we are back in the weakest. We have one of the weakest strength of schedules. I think that's nothing but good things for the Philadelphia Eagles, man. We can go through the season, we can warm up and tear it up, you know, and do our damn thing.
Look, we play the Browns. Wait, hey, I'll go back real quick. Hey, we play the Browns. We just got one of the toughest schedule. No. Look, we play the Browns, we play the Ravens, we play the Steelers. I think we played Texans or no?
That's who we play.
Oh, so yes. So we play the Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens. They're all top 3. The Bengals, you know what I mean? The Saints ain't no punk. The Bucks whooped our ass in the playoffs. The Rams is not an easy schedule. The Cowboys are not an easy win. So that's 7 teams right there that we could possibly lose to. Honest truth. 7 teams that, you know, that will be good that we could possibly lose to. So there's no way we're that low as far as opponent when those teams are literally playoff teams that we're going to play.
And that's what the NFL says. You know what I'm saying? Strength of schedule.
Man, bump that strength of schedule, man. That weak ass shit. Take it off my screen. Let's go.
Receiving cores. Who is the best receiving core?
AJ Devontae Smith. No question about it.
Over D Jackson Macklin?
Yep.
You think they're better?
Let me see. Did D-Jack and Macklin take us to the Super Bowl?
Terrell Owens?
No. What? Todd Piskin? Get that shit off my screen. Todd Piskin. Come on. Yo, that don't weaken the whole thing. The minute I saw Ty Kingston, I can't remember.
Alshon and Nelson, starter of the only Super Bowl championship team. The only Super Bowl championship team, Alshon and Nelly.
Okay, cool, true, but there was I would not put Alshon and Nelly over AJ and Devontae Smith. So that's what I'm going off of. And we at least got to the Super Bowl with those two guys. Nobody was scared of Nelson Aguilar, alligator hand. Nobody's scared.
Aguilar was cooking in the playoffs, baby.
You line up Devontae Smith and
USC.
Look, nobody was saying pick your poison between Alshon and Nelly. Pick your poison. Nobody was saying that. But I guarantee you, people is saying pick your poison. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, pick your poison. So that's why they are number one on this list, period. Hands down.
Rank the duel then. Who has the best duel? Joe Burrows, Diggs, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase.
The
Stroud,
best duel?
Diggs, Nico, Tua, Waddle, Kyrie, Eagles, Jalen, Devontae.
Okay, well first of all, there's only two of those duos that have been to a Super Bowl, so automatically take the other ass off the screen. So it is Jamar Chase. It is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. So those are the runnings right there to me, in my opinion, because where was Tyreek Hill and the freaking the code last playoff, he was a no-show. You know why? Because the Dolphins, to me, if they don't play at home in the warm as environment, they ain't going nowhere. But guess what? Our boys, the Bengals, those are cold. Like, you get cold. Them boys are catching rocks, right? So they are proven in November, December. It doesn't matter if it's cold or not. We see the eye test. And now, between them two, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, nope. T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, nope. Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, you can have your argument, but together is A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
So you're going Eagles, Bengals, Dolphins, Texans?
Eagles, Bengals, yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna go Eagles, Dolphins.
Why Dolphins though?
Because I don't care. Waddle and Tyreek, even though Tua gets banged up, you know what I'm saying. But and you adding a quarterback in there too. Tua's put up some big numbers over the last 2 years.
Is it numbers or production when it matters?
Well, numbers right now, and just the talent. But just the talent of two receivers. You're talking about two receivers getting over 1,000 yards together. AJ and Devontae did that twice in a row now. I believe Tua and Jalen did it 2 last year. And then you got I don't know if T. Higgins had 1,000 yards ever. I can't really say that. So we're talking about Joe Burrows hasn't been a top 5 quarterback the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing all three, you gotta go. It's in order from bottom to top. That's how I rank it. Because C.J. Stroud had an amazing year last year with Nico Collins and a bunch of cats you didn't know nothing about, and now you got Stephen Diggs on that team, and that's going to make that team go a little bit over the top. So I think that's going to be the biggest difference, and that's how I rank these guys.
No, I rank them by who been on the biggest stage when it matters? Bengals, Eagles. And now I go off,
I do like that, right? That way you look at it right there with who's been in the championship, straight up. They have been there.
They took you there, right? They took you there. Those guys were there. Tyreek Hill, Waddle was there. It didn't advance anywhere, but those guys been to Super Bowl already. Higgins, Chase, Brown, Devontae Smith, they've been there. So now you pick between those two. Would you rather have T. Higgins or Devontae Smith? Because that's what the argument is about right here. And Devontae Smith clearly, so clearly, is above T. Higgins. And now you got the argument with Jamar Chase and AJ Brown. I'm going with my guy, AJ Brown. He's a mini TO. This dude could run the long route inside. He's not afraid to run screens. He's not afraid about nothing. You know what I mean? So, and he's built like a Debo, but guess what? He's actually a wide receiver that could run you over and stiff arm the hell out of you. So, yeah. And then the Dolphins, to me, I'm sorry, they belong in Miami. You know what I mean? They're the pretty fast, nightlife team. But when it matters, when it comes to Philly, the tough, rough, blue collar city, that's not the Dolphins. And that's why nobody picked them to in the Super Bowl. I'd rather pick look, if we're going off of who I'd rather pick, Eagles, Bengals, Texans, Dolphins. I'm sorry. So that would be
for that third receiver spot. These are the weapons.
Nice Smith. Next.
Campbell, Parker, Covey, Anais Smith, Johnny Wilson. I think people are really sleeping on Johnny Wilson. That's a big guy that I know everybody want to turn him to a tight end, but like he can be a very viable because he can run, he can catch, he knows how to use his body for separation and make the big catches. He's like 6'7", he throw it up high. I think he'll be everything that we wanted. What was the other bull?
If we use him right.
Yeah, if we use him right, he can be everything that we wanted. Tyree Jackson to be, but he's actually a receiver, and I think he can really help this team. And with the third receiver on our team too, I think we're going to use a combination of all of them. I think you will see, Paris Campbell in there at the third receiver spot sometime. I think you'll see Devontae in certain situations there. I think you're going to see the rookie, Aeneas Smith, as long as he recovers right to be in there. And I think you'll see Johnny Wilson in the red zone. There'll be some time you see him in the red zone where he's that third receiver, as long as they can perform when they get the opportunity to do it. Because everybody know once you get in there, you drop passes or you don't make the catch, then your ass going to be on the bench again.
Yeah, facts. I mean, I think that Anais Smith and Johnny Wilson, if you said third and fourth spot, to me, everybody else, you had your chance. Congratulations, move the hell on. You know what I mean? I'm all about the youth movement. Go youth movement, man.
Go youth movement.
Hey, look, it's all about the youth movement to me because teams are getting younger. So I want to at least keep up or at least go, just get past them a little bit. So our third wide receiver, I need explosive. I need threat. Paris Campbell, I saw you play. All these others, but I have not seen, the Johnny Wilson, the 6'7", 230 body, a red zone threat. Anais Smith, oh my God, punt return, kickoff return, man. Covey, who? I don't know who Covey is. You know what I mean?
That's a good one. You think Covey keeps his kick return job this year?
Look, I'd rather he not. I'd rather Covey not. Covey, who?
Covey was the number one returner last year.
Yeah, I hear you. But I think that Smith had the ability to even be better. When was the last time we had a kickoff return or a punt return for a touchdown? Who? Nelson Aguilar, I think, against the Packers when Carson Wentz got benched. When Hurst came in against the Packers, we had a punt return for a touchdown, and I think it was either Nelson Aguilar or somebody returned a punt return for a touchdown. That was the last one that I remembered when Carson got benched and Hurst came in, and that was the last time I could remember we had a return for a touchdown. Maybe I'm wrong, but we didn't have a lot.
Covey didn't have a return to one?
Who?
Covey.
For a touchdown?
Yeah.
No. When? Because the year before last, it was like, boo, Covey, boo, 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 get him out of there. You know what I mean? And then last year, he was close, but no cigar. You know what I mean? So, nah, man. Nah. I need new blood. Look, nobody know what Smith could do. Everybody could watch Chipper Covey. Like, okay, yeah, okay, Covey. But Smith, nobody know. Yes, you're going to go back to college, but this is the NFL. That's what everybody is telling me. This is the NFL, fellas. This is the NFL. So, hey, you could go back to college and watch tape if you want of his returns, but this is the NFL. I don't know what to say.
Covey, I hope you keep your job. You know, I'm not gonna be like all the other haters. You're number one in the league last year. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt starting out the season. You know, if these guys do better in practice and you need to put the other guys out there, then put them out there. But we start the season with our boy Covey, baby.
No, it's his job to lose, by the way. Like, I'm not saying that he's, you know, look, we're confusing with third and fourth wide receiver because we didn't see Covey as a wide receiver at all.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, remember that. Julio Jones.
I think he loses his job because we've got to keep another receiver or corner that can actually return. I think if he loses his job, it's going to be because we have to keep another receiver or corner that, you know, for depth on the 50-minute, 3-man roster. And we can't afford.
I definitely think we on game day we at least going to have 4 to 5 wide receivers. Like, no lie, because you're going to have Covey to return, you know, punts, but kickoff Smith, because Covey did not return kickoff, right? Wasn't it like a Boston Scott or somebody else returning kickoff? But Covey was
he did kickoff too.
He didn't do both.
In the beginning, Boston did, but I don't think at the end Boston
didn't really do both. He did one, and I think it was more punt than kickoff. But Anais Smith, with the new kickoff rule, I want him to return kickoff, Covey to return punt. So now that's automatically 4 wide receivers because you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, you know, Anais Smith, and Covey. And I think that you're gonna keep about 1, maybe 2 more. But I think the max on game day is 5 wide receivers, and you know what I mean. And yeah, the cornerback is gonna have to suffer a little bit.
To the running game, I know we talked about Saquon being the number 1 guy, going to be the best all-pro back this year. But what's going to happen behind him, man? Which one of these backs are going? Is that the right one?
No, that's the wrong one.
Wrong one. Hold on.
Hey, Brent Covey would get lit up. Lydia. Your brother.
Is it the end of Gainwell being number 2? Is Shipley going to take over? You know, Milton from Georgia was a strong, powerful running back I like seeing. And then you got the other 2 guys in Price and what's his name? I don't even know that dude. So,
I think is Gainwell's job to lose as RB2.
But would he lose it? It's the question. We don't have.
I think that it's Gainwell's job to lose RB2. Now, with Kellen Moore, how much of a change you want to see when Saquon is out? So, like, if you're giving Saquon a breather, who is more compatible to Saquon? Is it Gainwell or Shipley? Because Shipley is like a dual threat running back. He could catch, he could run, he could do everything. So your offense would not have to change that much. With Gainwell, depends how you see him. He may be a third down back, right? A once in blue moon type of back. I think it's his job to lose, but I think that Shipley will become RB2 by the end of the season, probably midway through, maybe 4 or 5 games in. It probably won't even take that long. So,
the game will probably have a Pollard role.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's a Shipley role because Shipley is bigger than Gainwell.
Is he?
Yeah, but let me see how big is a Shipley, because I know that Shipley is 5'11", 2 something.
I feel like going into the season, if you had to say which backs would make the roster in what order, it would be obviously Barkley, I think Shipley, Gainwell, Milton. Those would be your 4 running backs going into the season.
Yeah. So Shipley
I
is
like
5'11", so he's 5'11", 206 pounds, right? But he did it all at Clemson. MC Kenneth Gainwell here. All right. And Kenneth Gainwell is 5'9", 200. So he's still 5'9". So 5'11", so that's 2 inches, taller. about 10 more pounds heavier.
And think about it.
Moving.
Gainwell was most effective when it was when he was the third running back. You know, when Boston Scott did have the edge over Gainwell, remember? And it was like, you know, we had other running backs, and then we had Boston, then we had Gainwell. He come in there fresh and do his little thing. Like, I do believe he deserves a spot on the team, but I don't think he should be second. Like you said, I think Shipley takes over that. I think Gainwell should be
competition, though. You know, that's a good thing, right? It's all about competition. Every position, man, we have competition. Besides the quarterback, and the wide receiver, you know, as the 1 and 2, but even tight end, even, you know, as my tight end, but you still have some competition that guys are like, okay, I need to be at my best, especially at the running back position, because Gainwell had his chance to prove that he could take the job from Swift. He could take the job from Sanders, right? And he never took the job. So he was always second best. That's why Barkley came in. And now he's definitely not going to be Barkley. So he's competing with Will Shipley, 5'11", 210, maybe 215, depending how the offseason goes. And Gainwell, he's 5'9". Hey, you can't grow overnight, so he's already 2 inches, you know, lower than Shipley, right? And then he's already 10 pounds lighter than Shipley. So that's what I'm saying. So it's all about, all right, Kellen Moore, who do you see could fit this role of a change of pace back? Is it Gainwell or Shipley? I think it's Shipley, just because you don't lose much by taking Barkley off the field. I even tweeted out when we drafted Shipley, I was like, yes, with the injury prone of Barkley, with the injuries and stuff like that, we're gonna lose some, but Will Shipley could do it all. He's a big back, and he did for years at a good school that won championship. It wasn't Gainwell that never won championship at a freaking a Missouri Blue Tigers, you know what I mean, like third round. I think he came from like some kind of what's he come from?
Oh my God, he said Missouri Blue Tigers. Who the hell is that? That's what made up team.
Field.
He played for Memphis, right?
Yeah, Memphis, right? Yeah. Like Will Shipley have won championship, big back, a do it all. And first down, second down, third down. So he's used to being a all-down back in a high level. According to you, high-level colleges take over precedence over lower colleges. So I'm just saying.
Hey, come on now. We got this long list of DBs. Long list of DBs. First off, do you think this is it? Do you think Howie goes out and adds even more to the list? Because do they even have the new guy on here? I don't know if they have the new guy on, Sean Stevens. Is he going to go get more? And if so,
he might be below.
How many DBs are we really going to keep? Because look at the talent that we got on this. How many DBs are you keeping? You know what I'm saying? And then give me the DBs. Like, how many of them are you going to keep? Give me the names.
I'm keeping the max. The max is 7.
The max 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And it's 15 DBs.
Yeah.
And you keep the max 7.
Yep.
So you saying how
Slay?
8 of them losing their job, and what?
Yeah.
Give me 7.
Or practice squad.
Oh, you saying 7 on game day?
7 on the active 53-man roster.
Whoa.
Yes. Wow. Because you could DB. Look, you didn't say cornerback. You say DB.
Well, this doesn't even have no safeties on it.
Cooper DeJean is a safety.
No, but if that's the case, you're talking about, CJGJ is going to be there. Brown's going to be there.
Okay. Well,
look, okay. His cornerback.
I'm talking about DB. Okay.
His cornerbacks.
Okay, so I'm still talking about cornerback because that position is an island, and things happen. So I'm keeping 7. Slay, Mitchell, DeJean, Rogers, Ringo, Maddox, and I have to keep Ricks. What are my 7?
Ooh, man, that's nice.
Because McPherson had his shot, Josh Jobe had his shot, Goodrich had his shot. Tyler Hall, I don't really know much about, and Gardner, and even so. Unless you cut and slay, then yes, I could add some more, like one more young one. You know what I mean? But as of right now, I need somebody, an experienced DB, to help these young guys out, and that's why everybody is more leaning to keeping Slay than Bradbury. But you can't get rid of Mitchell, DeJean, Rogers, Rango, Ricks.
I don't want to trade out right there. I'd probably say Max don't make it.
Who's your experienced nickel?
My 7 would be
Maddox and DeJean. Who's your other?
Bradbury, Quinyon Mitchell, DeJean, Rogers, Ricks, Ringo.
Wait, you keeping Bradbury
and Stephens, the new guy.
Wait. All right, just go back down the list again. Oh, who you
keeping?
Slay,
Bradbury, Quinyon, DeJean, Rogers, Ricks, Ringo.
All right, so the only thing that we
have that guy on a practice squad, the Sean Stevens guy.
So yes, the practice squad, yes, we'll have, but it's talking about on game day. I need experienced nickel. If anything happened, DeJean, Maddox, those are my 2 top guys. Top guys right there. Nickel. Slay.
Nickel's gonna be Isaiah Rogers, and backing him up is gonna be Quinyon Mitchell.
No. Rogers need to back up Slay. Mitchell need to start. So Rogers need to back up either one. Okay, wait. Rogers could back up.
I tell you the truth, and JC lies to you because I'm telling you.
But Rogers could back up either outside.
Mitchell's not starting this year.
Or Mitchell. But why would you keep because
he's not starting.
Who?
He's gonna be starting nickel, maybe.
Who?
Mitchell. He's gonna be starting nickel.
Okay. Let's bet another jersey then.
And then DeJean's gonna be playing.
Wait, this is a perfect time. I'm looking to get a Saquon Barkley jersey.
Way out of the chat. Sorry about that, Chad.
No, so I'm looking to get a Saquon Barkley jersey. So I said that Mitchell will start. You said that he's not. If Mitchell start on the outside, you get me my Saquon Barkley jersey. If he doesn't start on the outside, I get you.
Are we talking about game 1 though?
I'm talking about Bradbury is not going to be on the roster.
Year. So yes, game 1.
Game 1, because Bradbury is not going to be. I tweeted out a long time ago. If the Eagles draft a corner in the first round, Bradbury is a post June 1st cut. He's gone. The Eagles are not afraid to swallow money because of Carson Wentz, right? So you think that Bradbury is going to stop them from shipping his ass out and starting the best corner in the draft? Come on now, BG. The fans are watching, BG. You tell the truth, I tell the lie, apparently. So what do you want to do? If Mitchell start week 1, I get a jersey. If Bradbury start week 1, which he won't even be on the roster past June.
How about this? If Mitchell start week 1 on outside corner. No. I just said he could start the nickel. So what are you talking about?
Who's starting on the outside?
Bradbury. So how about this? The bet would be if Mitchell starts on the outside, you get a Saquon jersey. If he does not start on the outside, I get a Saquon jersey.
No. Mitchell is not going to play nickel. So, okay. All right. Since you want to go to the nickel, if Mitchell start the nickel, all right, I get you jersey. If he doesn't, I get my Barkley jersey, regardless if Bradbury is on the team or not. Since you're so confident that Mitchell is going to start the nickel, let's go.
I'm saying,
let's go. What we wait on? Yo, I repeated it.
Nickel, I get a jersey. If he starts the outside, you get a jersey. Is that what you're saying?
Wait. Huh?
If he starts nickel, I get a jersey. If he starts the outside, you get a jersey.
If Mitchell start,
you split talking motherfucker.
If
Mitchell talking your way into the jersey, you ain't gonna split talking.
I'm saying it really, really slow now, so you could hear me. If Mitchell start in the nickel, you get a jersey.
Yes.
If Mitchell start on the outside, I get a jersey.
And if he doesn't start, neither one of us get a jersey.
Oh, he's starting.
I'm just saying, if he doesn't start, neither one of us get a jersey. And this is only for game week 1. I'm not talking about into the season.
I mean, yes, absolutely week 1 because Bradbury would not be on there.
Week 1, guys, hear it now.
Listen now,
listen. BIRDGANG says week 1. Everybody's here now. This is on tape. Everybody's here. If Mitchell starts in the slot at nickel corner, I get a jersey from JC. That means Bradbury's starting, Slade's starting, and they want Quignon on the field, so they put him at the nickel. Now, if Bradbury's gone, it doesn't even matter if Bradbury's gone. Bradbury doesn't matter. If Mitchell starts out on the outside, week 1, then JC gets the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Period. It doesn't matter if Mitchell doesn't start on the outside at all, or he doesn't start on the inside at all.
Bradbury is gone, son.
Neither one of us gets a jersey.
Yo, Bradbury is gone.
I like that bet. I'm gonna bet that. You know why? Because I don't believe he's gonna start to see. I think
Mitchell's gonna start.
I think the Eagles are too smart to know that they want someone with some experience to start.
Yes, that's why Slate is still there.
No, on both sides. So I'll take that bet. That's a bet.
Wait, hold on, wait.
No, that's a bet. No, you made the bet. Don't try to back out of the bet now. You made the bet. If you start nickel quarterback
in my hand.
There it is.
I'm going to extend my hand out to you and bet. All right, that Bradbury's gone, son. I'm telling you.
See, the way I look at this bet is I have a better shot of winning the bet.
No, you don't.
Even if Bradbury
Mitchell don't play corner.
There's still 7 other quarterbacks on the team that can win the first spot over Quignon Mitchell. So I got a lot of players that can win over Quignon Mitchell to push him to that nickel spot, as opposed to you. You're just worried about Bradbury. What about if Ricks wins the spot? What about if Joe wins the spot? What about if Ringo wins the spot? What about if all those other guys win the spot over a Quignon Mitchell? So yes, I'm gonna win. You didn't think about that, but I like the bet. So,
hey, first of all, your Pacers are getting their ass kicked. By the way,
we virtually shook on it.
Hey, first of all, your Pacers are down 86-64 in the third quarter with 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Hey, there's a lot of time, but they're down with the series tied 2-2.
They just blew out the Knicks 121-86.
Yeah, but this is game 5. You win game 5, you need 1 more. You also got to win 2 more. But anyway, it is what it is. But yes,
everybody's here to watch it.
But what jersey do you want? Like, it has to be a current NFL player jersey. Yo, it ain't gonna be no throwback from 1960, $500 jersey. I'm not playing that game.
Saquon Barkley.
Okay, all right. Hey, we both get Barkley. We both get Barkley. Hey, we both get Barkley's then.
I got like 2 Jalen Hurts jersey already.
All right. Hey, we both get Barkley's, right?
I got an A.J. Brown jersey.
Hey, we both get Barkley's, right? All right, so hey, we both get Barkley's then.
Ooh, a Jeremiah Trotter Jr. jersey would be nice too.
Yeah, that'd be like $10, but yeah, hey, let's do that.
Yeah, I want Barkley. All
right, hey, look, this is on. I'm telling you right now. Hey, the minute you hear Bradbury has been cut, just email. Hey, just mail me my jersey.
No, I don't, because even if he gets cut, doesn't mean that They're
Smell
gonna
me my
start
jersey.
week 1. They're gonna start Quinion.
No, I'm telling you, Rodgers have a better shot at
What
starting.
happened if Rodgers start?
This is
Or
my vision right here.
What happened if Rick
This is my
start?
vision.
What happened if Joe start? What happened if Ringo start?
Okay,
All
okay.
those guys
Look,
will start
this is my
outside.
vision. This is my vision for the Philadelphia Eagles cornerback position. Mitchell, Rodgers at the nickel, Mitchell outside, Slay, DeJean safety, along with Gardner, and those were my DBs. Those are the DBs right there.
Cool, but it's gonna be Slay, Bradbury,
Burntberry,
Rodgers, CJ, and Brown.
Brown. No.
Brown's gonna start this
I don't think that Brown is physically. Yes, he looks good now, holding up the weight.
He said he's gonna be there first day of training camp. You can't hate on the guy. He already know what he's gonna do.
But the thing is this. We saw Brown just based on the Saya and freaking whoever that guy was, the other defensive coordinator. But Vic Fangio, like I said, he had his hand in these draft picks. So you think that 2 first-round draft picks are going to be sitting on the bench week 1?
No, because they don't have packages for him their first year.
No.
There'll be packages where you're gonna see Quinion. There'll be packages you're gonna see DeJean. They're gonna be on the football field.
But the thing is this: you can't switch out these DBs like you do wide receivers.
Again,
DBs do not switch out like that.
It's a long season. You can switch them out.
No. If you're a DB, you know how to play cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, and you know how to play all the covers. That's why you don't get switched out like that. So because then you ruin the continuity with everybody else in the backfield, you know what I mean? So you don't switch DBs out like that. So it's either you're gonna start them or you're not, or you're gonna start them and learn by
there's dime defense, there's quarters defense, there's nickel.
A corner could play all that.
We're gonna have packages where they go in and
play. Do you play defense?
I did.
No. When? What year? What decade? Lies. If you are an outside corner, you do not come off the field. You know how to play any defense.
I'm just saying, like, in order to get your number 1 draft pick on the field, you're gonna get him in there.
But that makes 0 sense. That means that you're taking your corners off the field to bring a whole new package in. Make that make sense, BG. Make that make sense.
Going against a team to have a speedster receiver, you take Bradbury out, then you go ahead and put it in.
Have you watched the Big Fangio defense with the Broncos, with the Dolphins? Do you see they got them corners switching out?
Maybe.
No, you do not.
It's a new team, the new era of football, baby.
Oh my God! You know 18, what? Hey,
18 games.
Right, hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, how did I become a Pacer fan? Because of Reggie Miller. That's why BIRDGANG 31 comes from Miller. My favorite number of all time. I
can't deal with this, BG. All right, man. So any more questions, man? Before we're up this almost 2 hours, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here for sure. Hey, salute to y'all still rocking with us. We can still got 45 up in here. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe wherever you're at. You know what I'm saying? The last thing I'm gonna say is, do you think no, not that. I'm not gonna say that anymore. I'm gonna change it. The last thing I'm gonna say is, how many primetime games you think the Eagles are gonna have
6
tomorrow?
6.
And how many games are you looking forward to going to this year?
Well, Eagles had like 5 primetime games last season, like 5 or 6 primetime games last season.
Yeah, 7 last year.
Huh?
They had 7 primetime games last year.
Yeah, well, a couple of them was flex.
Flex to prime, yeah.
Yeah, so it flexed from a Sunday, 4:00 to that game. Everybody saw, but I think we're going to have at least 5 primetime games, and I do want to go to the Brazil one. I want to go to the Saints one. The Ravens is right down the street from me because I do live in Maryland. So the Ravens Stadium is literally like under an hour from me. The Commander Stadium is like 30 minutes from me. So those are the 4 games. So the Saints, the Brazil game, the Ravens, the Commanders.
I want to go to at least 2-3 games. Like I was looking at the schedule, right, and I was thinking, I want to go to that Saints game because New Orleans is right around the corner from me. Maybe the Tampa Bay game because Tampa Bay is not that far away from me. I want to go to a home game versus Dallas for sure this year. So whenever we play Dallas,
That's always sold out, man.
I want to go to that game.
Yet. Me and we try to go to that one every year.
I'm just saying that's where I want to go to. And then other than that, I would say probably the home game versus the Jaguars to see Dougie P back in Philly, with the stadium, the statue, and all that stuff. He'll be back home in Philadelphia. I would like to go see us beat the shit out of him. So those 4 games. So Dallas, Jaguars, Saints, and Tampa Bay. That would be 4 games I want to go to this year.
Yeah, I mean, so already I told you mine. Hey, I don't care about no Giants game. I don't care about no Browns game. I don't care about no Panthers game. The home game sucks.
Wait, did the Panthers get
the home game sucks.
Wait, 2 things.
They got no new quarterback.
Who the quarterback in?
Huh?
Oh yeah, they got the dude.
Young.
What about is Miles Sanders still in the Panthers?
Bryce Young is a quarterback. Yes, Miles Sanders, but they got a Foreman, whatever. That other running back is. I don't want to see. Our home games are ass this year. Like honest truth. The Cowboys, okay, that's the only game, right? But the Giants, the Commanders, the Browns, the Falcons, but that's getting back. But all the hard games are away. You know what I mean?
Pittsburgh Steelers this year.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not worried about Russell Wilson or whoever is their quarterback. I mean, like Pittsburgh
and the Falcons got Kirk Cousins. The Falcons got Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a good regular season quarterback.
Kirk Cousins. Let me see. The Vikings. How many times we beat the Vikings? Every time we play them. So I'm not worried about, Kirk first Cousins or third Cousins. No, I'm not worried.
Daniels in Washington.
No, look, the home games are ass this year. Like last year, we had the Dolphins, which I was there for the home opener. Man, what other good games we had last year?
Maybe go to the Rams in LA. I could see myself going to that one too, depending on what part of you.
Those are away games. The Rams, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Saints, the Bucks, the Cowboys. That's 6 good games all away. Like the home, you got the Giants, the Commanders, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Jags.
I might get a chance to go to more than 2 because the tickets are so cheap.
Look, but the Green Bay Packers is in Brazil, so technically that's a away game.
Yeah.
So look, like I said, you got Green Bay, Rams, Ravens, Bengals, Saints, Cowboys, Bucks, 7 games that you like. Oh my God, those are going to be some good games. They're all away. He's
hyped for the Browns game. The Browns game could be good too. I ain't gonna hate on it, but I'm just saying, I feel like the Eagles are gonna do their damn thing this year. The biggest test really probably be the game 1. How you going to come out this year? But it doesn't matter if we lose it because it's always game 1. Who cares if you lose?
No.
At the same time.
Take that bad energy out the air.
I'm just saying we're going to win it. I'm just saying, like, even if we
don't.
I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying.
Man, y'all Eagle fans are killing me, man. Don't put that bad juju out. Even if we lose this early, hey, you sound like them Cowboy fans. Or even if we lose to the Browns, it don't matter how we start.
They got Jacobs over there. Jacobs is a beast from Oakland. Now he's got a good football team around behind him. Ooh. All 5 of those receivers, those young, all 5 rookies they had last year that tore up the league. The Packers, they had great receivers, and they got a good running back now. Aaron Jones was good too, but Jacobs
was running back last season.
Jacobs way better than Jones.
What?
Hell yeah.
What? No, hell no. Hell no.
It's the same comparison of
Jacob had like one or two good seasons.
Saquon. Swift was a good running back, but Saquon's the GOAT.
You don't watch football. There's no way. There's no way people will pick Jacob.
Jacob led the league in rushing. When the last time Aaron Jones led the league in rushing? Never.
But why was that? Because the Green Bay had the two-headed monster, Dillon and Jones. That's the only reason why. Who did the Raiders have?
Myers. Myers got the ball a lot in Oakland.
Wait. Who did the Raiders have?
Myers, I think his name was.
Who? What, the running back?
Yeah, they had another running back that was rotating in there.
No, they did not. But Dillon, and Jones were the two top duos, back and forth.
And it's just like we had Swift and Gainwell, the two top duos that could get replaced. But the real top, Saquon, Josh Jacobs, those are 3 down backs. Okay, you going against people that are part of committees versus a 3 down back. Look at that. Jacobs is better than Jones. You're smoking that.
There's no way. In fantasy football, I've never picked Josh Jacobs in fantasy football over Jones. There's no way. There's no way you could pick
Aaron. He's way better.
There's no way.
They're not even the same type of running back. He's way better.
Oh my!
You don't need Josh Jacobs like the best.
Wait. Let me look at some numbers real quick. Hey,
last year, man, you smoking that good stuff. I need some of that.
No, go ahead and talk, man, because
I know Dank. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling him that he's tripping. Like Jacobs, that's just like saying Swift is better than Saquon Barkley. Because Swift had 1,000 yards last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's garbage. That's why I tell you the truth. And JC, he tells you other stuff.
No, JC, hey, tell you.
I lay it down. I tell you facts behind the facts behind the facts.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're trying to look at the numbers. I say, damn, he is way better.
Let me see. Career stats. Let me see.
Now he's trying to go to career stats, trying to help his case.
Yeah. I have to. All right. So career stats. So Josh Jacobs have 1,305 carries, 5,545 yards, touchdowns, 46 touchdowns. Fumble loss 11. So Aaron Jones have one. Okay. Off the bat, he has almost 200 less carries. Aaron Jones had 1,177 carries.
Who played longer?
Jacobs have 1,305 carries, so under 200, apart, right?
Who played longer?
So Aaron Jones had 5,940 yards, and Josh Jacobs had 5,445. The touchdowns are 45 to 46. Who played longer? Let me see. Who played longer? Because I'm telling you, man, ain't nobody in their right mind is picking.
Just use your eye contact. Everybody knows Josh Jacobs is a beast. He's the best back in the league.
Oh my God, he's not the best back in the league. Man,
my CMC was Josh Jacobs, but it's about to be Saquon, the best CMC number 2.
All right, so Aaron Jones came in the league in 2017. So he played all with the Packers. So about 6 years, right? And let me see all here. And Josh Jacobs came in the league in 2019.
2 years difference.
Yeah.
Amount of yards, years less.
But I think that Aaron Jones was out for a long period of time because he got hurt.
No, he's always out. Like we said, same amount of yards, 2 years less. Jacobs better. Get out of here with that BS. Hey, Saquon's gonna be the best. It don't matter about any of that. The Eagles about to win the Super Bowl. About to beat. So one last thing before we go though. Will Jordan Davis finally step up and be his shape for the full season this year?
Yes. The first year, Jordan Davis wasn't actually play much, right? With Hargrave was there. No, Hargrave and Cox, right? So Davis wasn't actually play much. So this upcoming season, that was his first season where he was actually playing X amount, 15 plus games. Yes, he kind of wore off, but now he knows this is what a full season looked like. I mean, just going into the second season, he didn't really know what a full season would look like, but now he knows, hey, I'm the guy. This is a full season going to look like. He will absolutely have a bounce back season this year. And matter of fact, I won't be surprised if he's one of the top defensive tackles in the league in pressures, not sacks, but in pressures, because people, is always trying to, say, hey, well, he don't have as much sacks, but no, their job, people got spoiled by Aaron Donald because he was getting sacks and pressures, but he's one of a kind. So you can't compare Fletcher Cox, because without Aaron Donald, Fletcher Cox would be the most talked about defensive tackle, tackle, like in the league. But Aaron Donald was there. So now it's Jordan Davis. So now who are you going to compare him against, and how efficient he's going to be, and at least applying pressure, at least getting tackles in the backfield, because he's pushing his other opponent back. So I really
like Jordan Davis, like he said, when he got drafted, won back-to-back national championships. I think he won first national championship. The next year they won the next one. He went from national championship, the longest college season there is, straight to get ready for the pros. Went to the Eagles, went to the Super Bowl that year. You know what I'm saying? So that's 21 more games. And then you got back last year, and we still made it to the playoffs again, another long season. And, maybe he was burned out. In college, they only played 10 games a season besides the championship. So maybe he was a little burned out. Do you think he gets it together this offseason? He had a little bit more time this offseason. I think he gets it together and he become, like you said, I think he will. He can be a Pro Bowl DT on our team. And I think people still underestimate, because no matter what, even in his 2 down years, I feel like he made an impact in the run game. When Jordan Davis was in the game compared to when Jordan Davis was out of the game in terms of run game, there was a big difference once he left the game. So as long as he had some sort of impact, I feel like, all he could do is build upon that to become a star. Most guys don't get, they showed a stat where a lot of these good defensive linemen, they didn't even crack it, pop off to like year 4, just year 3 for him. And I think he can show a lot more signs this year.
Yeah, he'll be fine, man. He'll be fine, man. I'm not even worrying about Jordan Davis.
All right. Well, hey, another great show. My brother JC Sportstalk in that building. Shout out to Marc Farzetta. If you guys do not follow Marc, make sure you guys hit that subscribe and follow him on Twitter and all that good stuff. His links are in the bio, I believe. If not, then it's Marc Farzetta everywhere. So and like I always say at the end of my videos, fly Eagles, fly. Neither one of the quarterbacks are starting this year. Just mark it down. Like I said, we out.
Thank you for the Saquon Barkley jersey, BG.
Thank you for the jersey. I'll be waiting for it.
Going on, everybody, man, and welcome to the very